Hi, everyone. Welcome to your October energy reading. I sat in meditation last night and received the energy for the month of October. And the theme that I received is really going within and healing and releasing. So it really felt like we are going to be doing that collectively and individually this month to move through old energy and releasing it so we can allow new energy to come in. So what I kind of do when I go into meditation is I bring like a ball of energy forward for the month of October. So I imagine this ball of energy for the month of October. And what I instantly saw was kind of like on the outsides of this ball of energy, it was like these electrical currents happening all over the place. And so it was kind of like, like lightning or electrical currents. And I could just see this kind of like sparking all around. So I asked my team, what the heck is that? And what I received was that we are going to continue to receive very high vibrational energy. So a lot of solar activity to continue into the month of October, maybe even more heightened. So like solar flares, not like big, so like we have solar flares all the time happening from the sun, and that this is going to solar winds, solar storms, like this is going to continue into the month of October. But what it was kind of like showing me was that energy is happening and coming in and pushing down into earth to create change within ourselves. So when I went in and kind of engulfed myself in the energy of October, just to feel the energy, I was instantly met with a dark void. So like I felt like I was within this void and everything just kind of like was dark and quiet. I could see the outside of the energy sparking away, but everything was just like, it was like you had the storm around you, but inside it was like quiet. So like, the center of a storm type of thing. And so instantly what I was receiving was that we are going to feel called to go within this month. Solitude. Let me just see my notes. So there was like, we're meant to go within into solidarity and self-reflection and contemplation. So it just felt like with all the noise going around, we are all meant to, at some point, stop and go within and really get quiet and start to move through some of these old energies that we need to release. It feels like it's going to happen in waves. So it doesn't feel like everybody is all of a sudden, we're going to have like 2 weeks of nobody wants to do anything. I really could feel these waves. So it was kind of like a wave of people going through this kind of internal reflection, maybe dark night of the soul, healing. Healing is difficult. And then a next wave's going to happen, and then a next wave's going to happen, and a next wave's going to happen. So it's kind of like everybody's going to be going in and out of it throughout the month. And yeah, and then the healing, and then as the healing happens, or after you go through this healing and come out of it, I could feel like this huge lightness, like physically feeling light. I could see so much light. It just felt so warm and inviting. So it was just like, it was so beautiful. It was release. It was definitely a release. So, yeah, so that's where it kind of feels like what's going to happen with us on an individual level. I could see our galactic friends, family, pushing in energy into Earth to help move this along as it's needed. This self-reflection, this healing is really needed right now. So I could see them kind of like pushing this in. That's going to help push us to go and to go into this healing, because us humans like to avoid healing and like to avoid the hard stuff. Why wouldn't we? And so this is kind of like them pushing this stronger energy in is kind of like giving us that it's very difficult to avoid going in and doing this. So let me just see. Yeah, and that they're saying that they're wanting to make room. So this is what we're needing to do, some clearing to make room for this higher vibrational energy and for us as a collective to ascend and move into a higher dimension. I was also shown different triggers around the world, creating people to feel heightened emotions. And this is going to then push those people to question, to maybe awaken, to ultimately look within and question their reality. So, you know, you have many different people at different stages of, you know, ascension, awakening. Some of them are absolutely not awake. And, you know, so we're all kind of on varying degrees of where we're at. And so some of the people that are absolutely not kind of like awakened or understanding more of their reality, they are needing these kind of controversial things within the world to make them question and kind of go, hey, this doesn't make sense. And so that's why we're seeing more and more of these things happening, because it's needed for the people that are having a hard time, for the souls that are having a hard time, to awakening back to their kind of core selves and making them question. So we're going to continue to see more of that, because I think we haven't stopped seeing that for a couple of years now. There's always been something that's kind of being triggering happening. So this is happening for us. And then and then they wanted to like remind us that as much as this is happening on an individual level, so like this going within, reflecting, like it's very individualized, right? We all have our own individual things to heal and move through, but we are still all connected, and to remember that you're not alone. Seek community, seek like-mindedness. You know, so if you're kind of feeling this way, seek other people that kind of are going through this. Be open for help and be open to change, and that we're all healing on this individual level that is ultimately helping the collective heal. So we all have our own part to heal on an individual level to help the whole collective heal. So we, you know, if we're not doing it, then it's kind of like, yeah, so it's kind of like we need to do our part to help the whole collective, since we're all connected anyways. And so the image I got when they were kind of showing me this like individual within a collective was I could see an individual person sitting in solitude, but energetically holding hands with others. It was very, very beautiful. And so one of the things, and then I also just asked at the end, I said, so what are some ways that, because some people don't know how to go within, it's really difficult. So just different ways that you can go within and quiet your mind and start to heal. So obviously meditation, sitting in self-reflection, carving out time to be alone with your thoughts. It's amazing. It's such a simple thing, but it's amazing how many of us actually distract ourselves so we don't have to be alone with our thoughts. Music. So music was showing like it can provoke feelings and memories, and really can bring up a lot within us. So really sitting and having music that really touches your soul. Obviously nature, breath, like focused breath, yoga, journaling, and like healing guided meditations. So there's an app called Insight Timer that you can go on, and you can find like any type of guided healing meditation. So if it's like healing a broken heart, or loving yourself more. There's all these guided meditations that can help kind of move you through doing that, to also help provoke bringing up feelings and stuff that maybe you didn't even realize that you had deep down, pushed deep down in there. And then lastly, at the end of receiving this energy, receiving this information, I was called to pull a card. I pulled it from my new deck, the Sacred Forest Oracle. It's so beautiful. And the card, I love kind of pulling a card after receiving the information, because it's just very validating. And the card that I pulled was Aspen Spirit Courage. And as you can see, it really kind of reminded me of what I was receiving, in the sense of like, yes, there was some darkness in the energy that I was receiving, but this darkness is surrounded by beauty, and that where there is dark, there is light, and that sometimes we have to step into that darker part and move through some of those things so that we can fully be embraced in the light. And this takes courage. So just like it says there, courage. And it definitely takes courage to go within and to start healing. I'm just trying to see because I read the messages. So like pulling the Aspen card has shown up in your life today. It brings a message of courage, protection, community, and the ability to face and overcome obstacles in your life. Know that you are protected and you are safe. You are ready to step forward with courage and grace, no matter what seems to be blocking your way. And it's like that you're not doing this alone, and that it's a good time to bond with people over a creative project or community. This really I love pulling a card when it completely resonates with the message that I received. And definitely it's like, bringing out the courage to go within. And now is the time to really kind of dig in and start doing those uncomfortable conversations with yourself and moving through it. And we are always here to support anybody. That's something. So please reach out if you are in the thick of it and you just need somebody to talk to. We are both very much open to that. And I do hope that you have a great October, and we will see you next month.